What's up, tribe? Thank you for being here and welcome to my channel. Today's post is titled Attachment, and as it's a dialogue between Matias and his higher self, I'd be referring to Matias as me and to his higher self as I am. Me. What I experienced today in the pyramid was very intense. Like every day, I greet all the guards. I talk for a moment with the camel drivers. I say good morning to the inspector and guard at the entrance of the pyramid. I go up. I introduce myself in front of the camera, and like cats, I walk, looking for the place where the energy calls me to place myself. Today were the two of the women who came to the October trip with me, and two Canadian guys. As always, I don't say anything to anyone, and I feel like trying not to make others uncomfortable. If the energy requires it, I wait in silence, or begin to tune in with chants and breaths. When the configuration was formed, I felt the presence of the creative energy, a very intense feminine and masculine presence, and I recognized the male. It was the one energy belonging to Ta, one of the Egyptian divinities related to the creation of the universe. In Atlantean times, we called it Ibtulha, and its name referred to the tree of life. When I felt him, I knew that in my imagination I had to open up an invisible door that would lead me to observe the codes that were there in interdimensionality. And then I saw the webs, the matrix, and the presence of Manek, the weaver spider of the cosmos. Ta stood in front of me and said, "Let's go to the beginning." And at that moment, the electric light went out and we were in complete darkness, as if we were floating in the universe. His female and male voice were interspersed to show the aspects of the Creator and the Creator. I could see in the dark all the connections, a huge network. They showed the manifestation of existence itself, the fabric, and how each string joins in the hearts of all living things. Manic wove incessantly, and then I saw something that I had not perceived for years, the shift channel. I am the interdimensional halfway. Me. I remember that the first time I remembered it when I was 14 or 15 years old, a kind of infinite corridor, which seemed straight, but in reality it was spiraling like a roller that crossed the entire universe, twisting on itself, like chains of DNA, now that I think about that. And from there, all realities, all worlds and dimensions could be accessed. There was his guardian, an entity that inhabited every corner. He opened the doors for me when it was only you. I am me, gone. The guardian showed me the doors, short paths to get everywhere. Me, Latisse. It was fantastic, like a spiral harp with all its strings going in all directions, creating a beautiful web. Each being was connected to Shift, and their heartbeats echoed down the hall like an indefinite and infinite song. Today I re entered Shift, and many beings spoke through its branches, through its portals. It said, "The doors are opening. For each one of you is a door." What I noticed is that the Kundalini is like the shift channel. like a spiral that connects everything, and that its levels are disconnected due to incoherence, due to inability to maintain a flow of connection between the parts of our being. But as we work on coherence every day, more and more, it is as if the parts come together. The image I see is as if many cranes were taking cylinders from a giant pipe and they were aligning them all like parts of a telescope. And the moment they are all in position, we can see perfectly to the other side. I am. And so the doors will open. I could see them. It was very big, infinite, impressive. Years that lined up together. And through the interior, we could see the light from the center. What we used to see by flash could be seen perfect from the place where each one was. I am. The question would be if they will be willing to walk through the doors. Because I am. The fear of what is on the other side. Every living being clings to what it knows because the fear of the unknown produces insecurity, doubt, and makes one return to business as usual, falling into the same clutches of the subconscious again and again. Bad acquaintance. The light of consciousness can blind many who have been used to living in the shadows. Your eyes can't adjust that fast. They need time. Like when we wake up, if we have the curtains closed as well as the eyes, someone suddenly opens the curtains with the mid morning sun above us. It can burn our retina. I am. And the only thing that you will see like that are the little colored lights with unreal flashes, preventing you from seeing the truth. Delusions. This makes some fall in love, and they get lost in those illusions, while others cling to the shadows, closing the curtains again. They need time to adapt, step by step. It's okay. Everyone has their own rhythm. You can't force anyone. I am, unless you have decided to be at the service. And yes, it becomes a duty. Service comes from the heart. As I said yesterday, it cannot be forced. I am, but it must be carried out responsibly. Security. To be in the comfort zone, comfortable, healthy, cared for by someone. Attachment, then, remembers what makes us feel alive, calm, what makes us survive, clinging to life as the only way of escape to permanence. In English, attachment comes from the Indo European word steg, which refers to stake, a stick where things are affirmed, where security and stability are held and manifested. I ask you, me, no, at least if your goal is life and survival as a biological and cultural organism. I am. Exactly. We cannot judge the attachment of things because it implies seeking stability and security. And every human animal does this, trying to find a point of calm where things can be predictable and routine, where you find comfort. Attachment, seen as a negative thing, is almost denying how much this concept has done for us. Protect ourselves from all external evils and prevent internal strength from being lost. We can say that the muscle and skin tissue systems contain the fluids, the humors, without our bodies, making it waterproof. And also, the same tissues protect us from what is outside: poisons, liquids, viruses, and bacteria, threats. This translates culturally into the security of the interior of a house, of a family, of the people who make us feel safe, and the objects that give us stability. I am. The only great conflict here is the dependence on that security and the belief that it is the only way or way. Me, this is why it relates to the survival service, because it is dedicated to protecting life. And what then would be the second path of the service of the transcendence? I am. Here we will also find an interesting etymological root that will help you understand it. The same word, pi, which in Latin you will say pix, picis, which gives rise to the attachment at picar, is the root of the word pituita, sticky mucus, which gives rise to the name of the gland, hypophysis in Latin, pituitary, me, the crown gland. I heard long ago that the Romans believed that this gland was the one that created nasal mucus. That is why I do not like to call it the pituitary gland, because it seems to me a lack of respect for the gland of spiritual vision and consciousness. His name is hypophysis, meaning in Greek below growth, that is, development. I am. This gland allows you to open the eyes of the cosmos to see beyond the physics of the forms of what we know and to understand what lies behind, no longer what tarnishes things, but what connects things, the network. Here you find the concept of detachment. Detachment is the service of transcendence, where you stop thinking about protecting life and you start thinking about protecting existence. Existence encompasses much more outside of a simple human life. It goes to the connection between all beings through time and space without limits. Detachment does not imply leaving the bonds and matter, but understanding that it is impossible to leave them because you are part of everyone, and that you are not attached to any but connected to each one as a fabric. You don't belong to one, you are everything. Thus, the pituitary allows you to see the unity in things, putting yourself at the service of what was, is, and will be, without the need to cling to what is. Detachment is waking up to see more broadly the role of life in existence, and you no longer depend on life, but you do not separate yourself from it. You do not abandon it. You take care of it, protect it, drive it to develop. I am. Now think of all things that hold you back, like standing on tar, submerging yourself in tar, the things you cling to in life, what you serve with the need to survive. What are the things that you fear to change and transform, that you prefer to leave as they are to feel safe? Even so, you know that it is a false security. And then recognize, have you been responsible for what you ask to have detached? Are your detachments balanced or just abandoned reactions? Be aware of both, because neither one nor the other will lead you to real freedom. Me, and where will I find it? I am in the joy of enjoying things, while they last, taking responsibility for them with love and celebrating the moment when they transform to continue their course of evolution and expansion. There you will find freedom in the middle point between attachment and detachment, in the love of consciousness,